So I gotta make a video on this, guys, because it's important. Because Bungie just received $100 million for a new non-Destiny game. Now, this is by Jason off of Kotaku, and he's covered a lot of things involving Destiny. He is a very good source of information, and I'll link his article in the description below, so feel free to go check that out. Now, let's take a look at this article. He says, Bungie has been quietly working on a non-Destiny new game for some time now, and the Netease studio acknowledged for the first time announcing a partnership with Chinese publisher Netease that will raise them $100 million. They go on to say, today we're excited to announce that we've entered into a new partnership with Netease to help us explore new directions and invite players new and old to join. They then go on to say, if you're a player of Destiny, this news won't impact the hobby you've come to know. Destiny is an experience that will grow for many years to come, and we'll continue to work with our partners at Activison to foster this global community and turn new players from all over the world into Guardians. Long story short, Destiny ain't going anywhere, but this does raise a lot of questions. Like, who the hell is Netease? Turns out they're a Chinese internet company best known for the gaming sphere for publishing Minecraft and a lot of other Blizzard games in China. So this isn't just some nobody, and $100 million is an ass load of money. So let's talk about it real quick. What could Bungie be possibly making right now? Now, we have always known that Bungie's studio has been really beefed up, especially since taking on Destiny. Now, a long time ago, before Destiny was even created, when Bungie devs were sitting around the table trying to figure out where they wanted to go next, they took a vote. Half the team leaned toward an RPG style game, while the other half still wanted to stick to their roots, their first-person shooter roots. So that's why we got Destiny. It's essentially almost like a combination of the two. Now, granted, there was a lot more that could have been done in order to aid its more RPG aspects. But as you see, the combination there is pretty close. Hence why the team decided on Destiny. Which really makes me scratch my head and say, what would this game be? If we take a look at the team that's still there now, a lot of them have actually left and gone to work for 343, but there's still a bunch there that I spoke to last year when I went to Bungie when going over Curse of Osiris. And a lot of the devs I talked to seem to have more affiliation and more draw toward RPGs. I sat there for hours and talked about Dark Souls. We bounced from Morrowind to Skyrim to Witcher 3, all of the above, man. A lot of different games that we just sat there and chat about. But I could tell right there that my conversation with one of the lead devs there was more revolved around RPGs. We didn't talk about Halo. We didn't talk about first-person shooters, no COD, no Battlefield. So this really makes me speculate, what is the next step for Bungie? Now, say we do go down the first-person shooter side of things. There is so many things Bungie could do with that, and they have a lot of experience in that aspect. They also have a lot of games that they could actually remaster. Marathon was something that people are speculating that could be remastered, that they are working on. Now, Marathon was a first-person shooter video game developed and published by Bungie. It was released December 1994, but of course that was for Apple. Now, if you're wondering about the plot to this one, yes, it's pretty similar to the other ones, man. Essentially, it takes place several centuries in the future and outer space, and sets the player as a security officer attempting to defeat an alien invasion aboard a colony ship called Marathon. Now, some have actually spoke of Marathon as being the god of first-person shooters. Regardless, there's been speculation of a reboot to Marathon, specifically in this contract between Bungie and Activision talking about Marathon. Now, again, whether or not the $100 million that Bungie recently received is going to be focused toward Marathon, we have no idea. But part of me thinks it would not be a brand new first-person shooter. If anything, I feel like it would just be a reboot to one of Bungie's older games, which does have a player base around it. A lot of people would be psyched to see something like Oni or something like Marathon. But there's always the off chance that they could go down the path that they had half their studio decide on and actually follow through on that RPG they've always wanted to make. So we'll see what comes of this. Regardless, guys, thank you so much for coming and watching the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think, man. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.
Let's get closer.